Okay, we're back. Yeah, in this video, I want to talk about bullying. Now, I think what we perceive as bullying is very outdated in a way. I mean, sure, there are still people who bully by physical means, but I think now, as we progress or as we move further along, the physical bullying is like more subsided. Now it's more mental, so it's all it's more like emotional bullying, bullying on an emotional level, and um disclaimer: I'm not a professional. I am not smart, but this is just from what I've observed and what I have experienced. So listen to what I have to say if you are listening, and take it with a pinch of salt. Um, if you agree with me, not, that's you. I I don't have nothing to do with that. But yeah, let me get to the point now. Um, I felt this when it was a couple of years ago. I went to a boarding school, and it was all boys. Um, and I was, you know, I was like 15, 14, 15, and you're at a very critical stage, or it's a very volatile age, and it's a very important age, like early to mid teens. It's a very it's a very shaky age, and I I was always way I always felt demasculating emasculation. Right. I felt like I was less of a man, or like less of a boy when I went there, because I was a bit more sensitive, and I was a bit more soft than the majority. And I think this also has to do with a degree of infidelity. And when you're in when you're in an environment like that, it's all like edgy, like rude people, you start to transform a bit into that, because at the end you are a product of your environment. The people around you are so important. And um I wouldn't get physically bullied, but it was the words that were said to me that made me really self-conscious, and my confidence was broken. I had no confidence at all. I was so self-conscious, and I was so insecure about myself. To give you some examples, I was, it's all fun and all, making fun of each other. We do that as males, as guys, and it's all fun. And so laughter, okay, sure, but it was a toxic amount of telling that to each other. And those guys, I'll be honest, I'll be very straightforward and blunt, those guys are so insensitive and just like the worst people. And I'm not gonna name any names or be specific and call out people, but those people really made me almost like depressed. And I don't have any resentment or anger towards them, because I don't find the benefit of giving energy and attention to something that does not serve me. So it's not like I'm saying I'm better than them or they're better than me. I'm just saying I rather not do anything about that, and take in what I've experienced and learn from it. And I think it ultimately helped me be more resilient, and now I have seen people on all levels of the spectrum. Not talking about autism or anything like that, just people of different characters, a very wide range of characters, and I know how to handle myself and how to interact with these kind of people as well. And I think it's such a shame, because if you look from a very broad angle, a very wide, very big angle, it's the basically basically shows the where they came from, or their environment, or their upbringing. And I'm not blaming parents or anything like that. It's all like, maybe they are like that because maybe their parents were brought up like that, and then their parents, and then so it all becomes like a generational thing. And unless one of the future generations are able to stop it, it will keep on cycling, and there will be no end to it. And I was, if I wouldn't say victim because that's a strong word, but I was I was on the receiving end of that bullying. And I know that they're not textbook bullies, but in a way we're all bullies to a certain degree, but it was more apparent. I found that more apparent. Their bullying was more apparent, and it did sting, it did hurt, but that's life. You gotta learn from the lessons, you gotta learn from the experiences, and I am grateful for that. I'm grateful because, in a way, on the flip side of things, it taught me, it brought me closer to the ground, and I can extract what I've learned and give advice to people who are yet to meet people like that. My close friends, I can tell them that, people are gonna be like this, but you have to stand up for yourself and be firm. And setting boundaries, it's so important. I think because I was always I'm a people pleaser, and I think because I was so afraid of not meeting other people's expectations, or trying to be a mediator for no reason. Because I did that, I let myself get hurt. And now that I'm thinking about it, I need to be more firm and set my boundaries from day one and be as clear as possible. And I don't think that I'll meet people like this in a huge way, but I'll meet people here and there. But for the most part, setting boundaries is my number one priority when I meet people for the first time. I think you have to be selfish, because if you don't be a bit selfish, then you're gonna get hurt. But being selfish, it's being selfish with giving yourself to others, because when you give yourself to others, they have to reciprocate that to you as well. That's what I think. And you gotta take care of yourself first, because no one is gonna look after you. No one is gonna care for you. Everyone is busy caring for themselves. So be open, being open and being kind. Yes, that's a given. That's an essential. That's the most basic human need. But being firm and setting boundaries is something I want to really put into practice. So yeah.